Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this post, I want to talk about Game 2 of the NBA Finals. If you're new to my work, what I document is the rigging in sports, and I show just how carefully the games are scripted. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I've already done a video on Game 1, and what you should know is that before the playoffs started, I predicted the NBA Finals would be Warriors-Cavs. A lot of people probably predicted that. It was fairly easy to see. But what I showed is how I made the prediction and the numbers that sync up that allow me to see what is coming. And for an example of that, I'll tell you why I thought the Warriors were going to lose today before the game began. I almost did a video making this prediction. Very quickly, I'll tell you what I saw. Notice that the Warriors had 67 wins this season. Today's date is June 7th, 6/7. What I've noticed from doing this work, especially in sports, is that if you have certain numbers upon you and those numbers correspond with the date you play on, it seems that you actually lose on that date. When I first started doing this work, I made the assumption that would mean you would win, but now I've seen it enough. In this last year's college football championship, the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, today, yesterday's major soccer football game in Europe, all of these things have revealed the same pattern. Just to quickly show you what I'm further talking about, the recent Manny Pacquiao Mayweather fight from May 2nd, that fight turned out to be all about the number 67. And it was Manny Pacquiao who was the sacrificial lamb essentially for the fight. And again, Warriors had 67 wins this year. Today is 6/7, June 7th. Anyway, the name Manny has a simple English gematria of 67. He has a 67-inch reach. And by the end of the fight, these stats were up on the screen. Floyd Mayweather had landed 67 more punches than Manny, the punch disparity. Manny was hit 67 times in the head. And then also the venue was 67. MGM in simple English gematria is 33, but in Jewish gematria it's 67. So again, the numbers on Manny, he lost. Today the numbers fell on the Warriors. They just lost. And it's much deeper than that. Let me show you what was going on throughout the game. So check this out. At the end, I knew it was over for the Warriors once they took over the lead at 93-92. The reason I knew that is because 93 is one of these numbers of sacrifice. If you follow my blog, you're aware of how many times this year I've shown that somebody died and the numbers 33 and 93 were coded all over them. Well, look at what it says right here on the screen. You don't have to take my word for it. When Golden State went up 93-92, this caption came up. First lead since Warriors were up 33-32. So here's a 33-93 pairing. Last lead with 33, new lead with 93, and they would lose 95-93. They wouldn't score anymore. Also, here's something that's trippy, Truth Seeker. Sometimes, you know what? These types of things happen a lot with the clock, and it really blows my mind. I don't know if in these cases it's coincidence or if it really is scripted this hard. It's just a thought, though. Notice the time up here, 5:47 left. 5 minutes. Leave that alone. 47 the seconds. The numerology of 47 is 4 plus 7 equals 11. So this time kind of breaks down to 5:11. And I bring that up because Saturn has a Jewish gematria of 5:11. Simple English gematria of 93. And again, Truth Seeker, all this stuff goes back to Saturn worship, Satan worship. And the people who run the NBA are referred to as the synagogue of Satan. So this truly all flows. And just to show you this was no coincidence, earlier in the game, this happened. Cleveland was on a run. Remember, they were down 32-33. This stat came up once they went up 39-33. And if you watch my videos, I talk about how often 39 and 33 are paired. Notice that 39 is the reverse of 93, numbers of great significance. But this stat came up down here. Cleveland, 14-2 run in last 257. And what stands out to me about this is 14-2 with the 39 on the screen and knowing that LeBron James is leading the Cleveland Cavaliers. Check this out, Truth Seeker. The name LeBron James in Pythagorean gematria sums to 42. He's currently on a 2-year, $42 million contract. You can look that up. It is a fact. Both the teams, the Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, retired the number 42 this year. When the Warriors and Cavs met, which we'll talk more about in a second, LeBron scored 42 points, his season best. It came 114 days after his season worst on November 4th. LeBron James, the big way, sums to 114. But check this out, Truth Seeker. 39 in simple English gematria sums to 142, and so does 42. They both sum to 142 in simple English gematria. Again, look at this. Cleveland's up 39, 33, 14-2 run, a lot like 142, and LeBron James is the leader of the Cavs. Tonight, LeBron also finished with 39 points, Truth Seeker. Whoops. Did you see that before I just zoomed it out? LeBron had 39 to lead the Cavs. Anyway, you can double check it. It was up there. So we got that covered. But Truth Seeker, if you think that what I'm showing you here are just anomalies, like I caught some random things and I'm just putting something together, no. This is always happening in sports. I've documented this in other videos. I did a video during the NFL season showing the actual footage from the game and just how all this stuff synced up. It's really mind-blowing to watch, but if they're planning this stuff out in advance, it might explain how they achieve it. Also at halftime, Truth Seeker, I made these observations. Cleveland was up 47-45 over Golden State. Ohio has a simple English gematria of 47. Ohio's the 17th state. NBA has a gematria of 17. So, number of significance here. The first NBA championship was in the year 47. The Philadelphia Warriors won it. The Philadelphia Warriors won it in 47. And also, halftime in simple English gematria sums to 74, the reflection of 47. And remember, all these sports leagues are Masonic. That's why we have words such as halftime. All these little tributes all over the place. It's always been this way. We just didn't know because we couldn't read through it. And again, who am I asserting is behind this? The Freemasons, Zionist Jews who run the NBA, David Stern, Adam Silver, little Jews running the NBA, even though there's no Jews in the NBA. I mean, what's it all about? Did you know that right now the only Jewish coach in the NBA is David Blatt, the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers? Check this out. His life numbers, Truth Seeker. He was born May 22nd, 1959, a date with a numerology of 33. 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 9. The other method, abbreviated 5 plus 22 plus 59, sums to 86. And why is this interesting? NBA Finals has a Pythagorean gematria of 33, S exception 42, and it was named that in the year 86. David Blatt has this 86-33 connection through his own life numbers. If you didn't see my post yesterday on American Pharaoh and Victor Espinoza, I talked about how these people are picked by the numbers over and over. And check this out. The owner of the Cavs is also a Jew. He's not the only one of those, though. There's a lot of Jew owners. His name is Daniel Gilbert. Daniel Gilbert has a Pythagorean gematria of 64. The NBA Finals began this year on June 4th. Cleveland has not won a title, a professional sports championship, since the year 64. Another 64 connection for Cleveland. Remember the college championship was on 4/6, April 6th. The NBA Finals began 6/4. All these leagues are synced up with numerology. Here's more proof. Let's just go back to game one real quick, Truth Seeker. If you don't recall, this game went to overtime with a score of 98-98. Here's the proof. Here's the easy proof. Cavs finished with 100. They only scored 2 in overtime. I know everyone can do this math. 100 minus 2 is 98. Well, check this out, Truth Seeker. When they met on February 26th and the Cavs won 110-99, where LeBron scored 42 points, that game was exactly 98 days before the NBA Finals began. 98 days to June 4th, and the game went to overtime 98-98. Tonight they said it was the first time in the history of the NBA Finals that both games the first two games went to overtime. Tonight's game went to overtime 87-87. This time the Cavs won, so the series is 1-1. I want to show you something real quick, True Seeker. Check this out. Derrick Rose ad. Watch this.
Remember this number, 9.8. That's not the time on the shot clock or the seconds left in the game. It's not the number of times I will light you up. Nah.
That word that was just in the background, Murray, that's a word with 33 Pythagorean gematria. Trust me, the Masons, they are running this world. So much imagery that's put in front of us is coded with these same numbers over and over and over.
9.8 isn't any of that. It's ounces. And that makes this the lightest ever.
9.8. So something up with this 98. The name King James sums to 89. The flip of that, the phrase angel of destruction sums to 98. Or excuse me, angel of death. You know, I don't exactly have what this 98's figured out. But remember that LeBron advanced through the Chicago Bulls this year to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And when I originally made my video about Warriors, Bulls, a lot of people said I was wrong. It would be, or excuse me, not Warriors, Bulls. When I said it would be Warriors, Cavs, a lot of people said I was wrong. It would be Warriors, Bulls. But turned out it was Warriors, Cavs. Also, True Seeker, with the horse race yesterday, the word American sums to 37 in Pythagorean gematria. We had the first Triple Crown winner in 39 years, American Pharaoh, 37. I pointed out before that happened how LeBron was getting a lot of 37 tributes lately. Recently he had 37 points on 37 attempts. At the beginning of the year, Kobe had an ordeal where he took 37 shots and they made a big stink about it. But another True Seeker pointed this out to me while I was writing about that. They said LeBron, when he first went to Miami, also hired a 37-year-old rabbi, which they made a big deal about. The word perfect equals 37. Interesting number. But that's pretty much the extent of the message. As I said in the beginning of the video, I almost made a video saying why I thought the Warriors would lose because they had 67 wins in today's June 7th. Again, Truth Seeker. Going back in time, I'm going to show you how I learned a lesson and why it stands in my mind. Before this game happened right here, Colts-Cowboys, I predicted it was going to be Andrew Luck Day. He was going to have a field day. He was going to blow out the Cowboys. And look, I was wrong. The Cowboys won 42-7. And the reason I thought in advance that Luck was going to go off is because from week 3 on, I was following a pattern. And I thought it meant that the Colts were going to go to the Super Bowl and win. This date has a numerology of 12, 21, 14. 12 plus 21 is 33, plus 14 more is 47. The word luck in simple English gematria sums to 47. And notice how L's the 12th letter, U's the 21st. It's a lot like the date of this game. So I was looking at this in advance, and I'd made a Super Bowl prediction based off the Super Bowl 44 years earlier, where the Baltimore Colts defeated the Cowboys. And here it was again on a very special date. But instead of the Colts winning, they got blown out. And then instead of the Colts going to the Super Bowl, they lost to the New England Patriots in the Eastern, I can't think right now. It's not the Eastern Conference Finals. The AFC Championship game. There we go. The American Football Conference. But notice that the team who won, the New England Patriots, they went through the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts to get to the Super Bowl, which was all rigged by numbers. Did a video on that. All about 21 in the end. You know, so even though I wasn't all the way right with my Colts prediction, I still read the script. I just didn't read it fully. And then in the end, I was following the number 44, the same number we're following for the Cavs, which I explained in the last post. And in the end, the Patriots won, who turned out to be in the 44th year of their division. And now Tom Brady became the first quarterback to start in 6 Super Bowls. He's now 4 wins, 2 losses, with his only 2 losses coming against the New York Football Giants out of NYC. NYC also has a gematria of 42. And just before that game started, it was announced that the part owner, the female owner of the football Giants, had died. How weird is that? And the last time the Super Bowl was in Phoenix before last year was the Giants Patriots Super Bowl. In Total Truth Seeker, there's just some really weird, really sick stuff going on that needs to be exposed. The reason I got here to figure this out is because I have seen for all of my life how rigged sports is, and it has driven me nuts listening to grown men ridicule me for saying that the sports are rigged. Having people tell me that I think, oh, you're one of those conspiracy theorists. Everyone just wants to say that phrase to dismiss what is so obvious. It's like as a society we've learned that we can say that phrase and, you know, we can just disregard whatever we're saying that to. Oh, a conspiracy theory. Meanwhile, everyone's getting hustled. So I just want one of these videos to go viral and people can wake up to the rigging that is abound. If people think I'm off my rocker, they need to pay closer attention because really I'm knocking this stuff out of the park. I have to tell you. But yes, it even does blow my own mind that they're able to pull all this crap off. This stuff right here truly blows my mind. All right, I think I got the message home. So until next time, Truth Seeker.